Title: The Expiration of Truth. Washington, D.C., was asleep under a blanket of gray. The marble pillars of the Lincoln Memorial glimmered faintly through the mist, and the Capitol dome loomed like a giant fossil, buried beneath silence. The city was holding its breath, waiting for the clock to strike 0. That morning, a man stepped out of a black SUV, parked beneath a government garage. His name was Michael Lerner, a former NSA engineer. He carried no phone, no ID, only a small drive hidden in the heel of his shoe. Inside it was a blueprint that could change the course of the United States. He made his way into a crumbling building on 8th Street, home to a small local paper, the District Tribune. There, in a cluttered corner office, sat Elisa, an investigative journalist blacklisted from every major newsroom. After exposing a White House data scandal years ago, Michael placed his worn backpack on her desk. Inside were fragments of a classified system, known only as the Liberty Protocol. On paper, it's a national security measure, he said quietly. In practice, it's a machine that selects which truths are allowed to exist. Elisa studied him carefully. And who built it? Michael looked away. A man who already ruled this country once, Jonathan Keller. Her monitor flickered with the live news feed. Keller, the retired president, was scheduled to give a speech that day in Manhattan. The headline read, "We will be safe again." Elisa sighed. People still call him a hero. Michael nodded grimly. They cheer when he speaks and stay silent when he lies. He leaned forward, lowering his voice. At noon today, something called Red Switch goes live. A system test, what they call zero morning. No one will notice except the people who scream. Elisa frowned. Scream? Michael gave a hollow smile. They call it pleasant correction. Laughter lasts longer than pain. The air in the room felt colder. Elisa stared at the drive in his hand, knowing that whatever it contained could end her career or her life. Noon arrived. Manhattan's City Hall square overflowed with thousands of people. Jonathan Keller stepped up to the podium, his smile calm, rehearsed, presidential. The crowd went silent, waiting for his voice. "We stopped asking questions," he began softly. "And we paid the price. Last night, a child in the Bronx died because we forgot how to listen." The audience fell still. Behind the stage, in a control truck, humming with monitors, General Richard Bauer watched Keller's performance. Each of the president's emotional shifts appeared on screen: sadness 12 seconds, anger 8 seconds, unity 14 seconds, pause 2 seconds. The system was perfect. Beside him, data ethicist Naomi Quinn frowned. The anger phase is running longer than expected. If it extends, the crowd could turn violent. Bauer took a sip of coffee. Good. That's what we need today. Naomi looked shocked. "I thought the goal was unity." Bauer smirked. "Unity creates threat. Threat creates consent. That's how democracy breathes now." Keller's voice boomed across the square. "Fear binds us, but love moves us. And safety holds them together." The crowd erupted. People clapped, cried, chanted his name. To them, it felt real. To Elisa, watching from a nearby cafe, it felt rehearsed. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number at 2 p.m. "The warehouse opens. Bring your smile." Michael's words echoed in her head. "Laughter lasts longer than pain." Brooklyn, 200 p.m. An abandoned industrial complex stood silent. When Elisa arrived, the massive steel doors slid open automatically. Inside was not a torture chamber, but something stranger: bright lights, a stage, cameras, and an audience. On the wall, a glowing sign read Community Accountability Theater. Michael appeared beside her. "They call it public participation," he said quietly. "The first live demonstration of liberty." Elisa's voice trembled. "They're streaming this?" He nodded. "To make the audience laugh." On stage, a young man sat bound to a metal chair. A host in a suit addressed the crowd cheerfully. "Today, we seek the truth together, for safety, for unity." Every time the man cried out, the sound system played a lighthearted tune. People laughed and clapped, believing it was a show. Elisa whispered, horrified, "This is entertainment." Michael's face was pale. "Yes. They learned that laughter makes obedience permanent." The music swelled as the host bowed. Behind him, the Liberty Protocol's emblem pulsed like a heartbeat. Elisa stepped back, her mind spinning. Outside, Keller's speech replayed on every screen. People smiled, unknowing, and she understood for the first time. The clock of truth in America had already reached 0. 0 morning. 1 The shadow cabinet. Night draped over Washington like wet velvet. Beneath the Capitol's marble foundations, a secret chamber pulsed with blue light, the emergency committee, known only inside as the shadow cabinet. Maps of the United States glowed across the walls, thousands of crimson dots flickering with live data, fear, anger, unrest. Each pulse was a heartbeat of a nation about to break. Jonathan Keller, the former president, paced the room, his reflection sliding across the glass table. "We can't douse the fire," he said. "We remove the air instead." General Richard Bauer folded his hands behind his back. "That's what Liberty Protocol is built for: monitoring emotion, predicting riots, suppressing chaos." Keller turned to him. "Suppression is such an ugly word. Let's call it guidance." At the far end of the table, drive. Naomi Quinn spoke for the first time. "You're not guiding emotions, sir. You're replacing free will." Keller smiled faintly. "Free will? That's a poet's term. Leaders deal in outcomes. And if the outcome is built on lies?" She pressed. He met her gaze. "Then lies are simply truths that save lives." The silence afterward was heavy enough to bend light. When the meeting adjourned, Naomi lingered by the window. The city shimmered like circuitry, beautiful, deceptive. She pulled out her phone and typed a single message. "I have what you're looking for. 3 a.m. E Street exit." Then she turned it off and whispered, "No way back now." To the red switch. Hours later, Elisa Brooks arrived at the rendezvous, coat collar up against the wind. The tunnels beneath E Street smelled of iron and rain. Naomi waited there, pale in the beam of Elisa's flashlight, holding a small crimson card. "This is the key," she said. "The red switch. Insert it, and the system either stops or stops everything." Elisa studied the thin rectangle of metal. "So one of us dies." Naomi's smile was weary. "That's Liberty's law. Why risk it?" Naomi's eyes softened. "Because I built the monster. Now I have to kill it." They walked together through the echoing tunnel until the first sirens howled. Naomi shoved the card into Elisa's hand. "If I don't make it, you finish it." Then she ran toward the guards closing in. Elisa hesitated only a second before turning in the opposite direction, down toward the abandoned metro lines leading to Central Hub B1. The underground facility was alive with noise servers humming like distant thunder. On the walls, Central Hub B1 authorized personnel only. She slipped the red switch into the reader. The door hissed open. A male voice echoed behind her. "This is my world, Elisa." Bauer. He stepped from the shadows, pistol raised. "I spent 48 hours tracing Naomi's bracelet. Did you really think she could hide?" "You're protecting a lie," Elisa said. "You're trading fear for obedience." Bauer's tone was almost gentle. "And you'd rather have riots? Peace built on fiction is still peace." She shook her head. "That's not peace. That's anesthesia." She slammed her thumb onto the card. Alarms screamed. Override mode activated. Bauer fired. The shot ricocheted. Sparks rained from the servers. Elisa crawled behind a console, clutching her bleeding arm. "Stop it," Bauer roared. She shouted back, "You can't stop truth." Her fingers danced across the keyboard. Data streamed upward. 60 seconds. 59. 58. When the counter hit 0, a white light swallowed the room.